K-Brench Sports. I am, of course, K-Brench, otherwise known as Kyle Brenchley, and we're jumping right into it. We're going after it today. But before, as always, you can find this podcast on Spotify and iHeartRadio by searching Fan Talk by Kyle Brenchley. I also upload to a YouTube channel. That's why I'm videoing this. So check it out on YouTube. Kyle Brenchley, search it up. I got all my episodes on there. I got my other podcast. I did a dating advice podcast. And I got some other fun stuff on there for you, so go check it out. It'll be a good time there. Kyle Brenchley, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio. All right, guys, a lot of things have happened this week. As we all know, this time of year, things really heat up. We have a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the World Cup. So USA lost. I will applaud them, though. They got to the round of 16. Everyone was expecting them to do that, but since they didn't go to the World Cup in 2018, I think this was a good step forward, getting to the round of 16. Netherlands are a good team. The U.S. had their opportunities, and as we saw throughout the rest of the tournament, a lot of the times they didn't capitalize on those opportunities, which is unfortunate, but they got their goal that put them through. Pulisic got his moment, and unfortunately they lost 3-1 to the Netherlands. They still have a lot of young players. I think it's good. It's a good outlook for the future, and we're excited to see them in 2026 when the World Cup comes here to North America. Let's talk more about the World Cup. The round of 8. Holy cow. The round of 8. We got a couple matchups that are particularly interesting. Netherlands, Argentina, Messi. This is probably his last World Cup. If he comes back again in 4 years, he'll be an old, decrepit man. But he's looking to win. We got Brazil. We got Neymar. They're looking to win. They're playing Croatia. On the other side, you got France and England. France is looking red hot. England's a good team. Don't count them out. That might be the funnest game to watch, France and England. And then the last one, we have the surprise Morocco. Morocco took out Spain in penalty kicks. That was crazy. Spain couldn't even put one in, so they don't deserve to be there. Morocco's there. They're playing Portugal. That game is going to be fun. I think of the 8 teams that are left, the 2 teams that we will see in the World Cup final, in my opinion, this is my projection. I think it's going to be Brazil, and I think it's going to be France. And here's why. You're watching that Brazil game, and they were just pouring on goals. It doesn't matter who they play. They can score. And that's how you win games in soccer and in any sport, is you score. You score points. Brazil does that. France, they have a young star in Mbappe, and who's going to stop Mbappe? He's great. France also scores. They're playing a tough England team, but I think France has the advantage. They're just more experienced. They just have more talented players. They have a better attack. And at the end of the day, I think France is going to get by. So Brazil, France, that's what I think. I'm rooting for the underdogs in this one. So go Morocco. Go Morocco, beat Portugal. That's going to be a tough game. If Morocco gets, let's talk about the round of 4, like the final 4, Morocco getting there. That'd be crazy. Also, I think it'd be a special Argentina. I kind of want Argentina to go through so Messi can win. I would say the same for Ronaldo, but Portugal's playing Morocco and only one team can advance. So Portugal will probably win that one, and I'll root for them then, but go Morocco. So that's a World Cup recap, pretty quick, but it'll be exciting. The games are tomorrow. I believe it's Croatia and Brazil and Netherlands, Argentina tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So watch out for those games as well. I'm going to do something that I haven't done on this show yet. I'm going to talk about baseball. It's a baseball offseason. Actually, I did talk about baseball, the World Series, at the beginning of the podcast. I forgot. We're on episode, 6 now? So it's been about 6 weeks. It's been some time. So let's talk about some free agent signings that have happened. Aaron Judge staying with the Yankees. A lot of people thought he'd maybe walk or maybe go somewhere else. He's staying with the Yankees on a 9-year, $360 million deal. Can you imagine making $360 million every year for the next 9 years? That's incredible. I hope to even sniff that much money. I probably won't, but that's incredible. Cody Bellinger, he's going to the Cubs on a 1-year, $17.5 million deal. The Cubs have really made some strides in this offseason. They had a pretty bad year last year, but they're really playing their cards right, and they're going to try to push for the postseason this next season. Justin Verlander is going to the Mets on a 2-year, $86 million deal. guess Kate Upton's got to ditch her Houston Astros gear and move to the Big Apple. Move to good old New York, which, I mean, she's been there a billion times, so not a problem for her. Jameson Taillon, he's a former Pirate, actually. He was on the Yankees. He signed with the Cubs, 4 years, $68 million. Again, the Cubs adding a very good pitcher into their bullpen. That will be great. And then Wilson Contreras, he's going to the Cardinals, 5-year, $87.5 million deal. Cardinals, they're a good team. They've always been a good team as far as I'm concerned when watching MLB baseball. So, yeah, those are just a few of the moves. A lot more moves are happening. Go check it out on ESPN or MLB.com to stay up to date with all of the MLB postseason moves, free agency. I will say, though, they did a lottery pick for the first time, the MLB, and the Pittsburgh Pirates got the number 1 overall pick. So, heck yeah, go Pirates. I've been a Pirates fan. I started when Andrew McCutchen was playing for the Pirates back in the day. I just really liked the way he played. I liked his dreadlocks. I don't know, as a kid, you pick out things like that. And I watched them. The Pirates went to the playoffs a couple times, went to the postseason in the early 2010s, and then all their players kind of moved on and went to different places, and they've kind of been in rebuild mode for the last 6 years or so. So hopefully the Pirates can get some young blood in there and keep on going. Keep on going. So that's some MLB update. And if you feel like I'm rushing through this, I just want to give you a perspective of what I see as a fan and do it in a short amount of time. I don't want to ramble on and on and on and complain and argue and different things like that. I just want to tell you what I think. And this is what I think. This is what I see. This is what's happening. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, So let's talk about NFL news now. And I want to talk about 2 stories. So Odell Beckham Jr. apparently was leaning towards the Dallas Cowboys. He'd been hanging out with some of the players. He'd been seen courtside at a Dallas Mavericks game. He's been talking with them. And apparently they had a meeting. And in the meeting, it was determined that Odell Beckham might not even be healthy by mid-January. So he might not even be able to play at all this season. And so the Cowboys are kind of like, whoa, we want you now to be healthy. We don't want, hurt Odell. We don't want to sign you and have you just sit on the bench where you're wearing your Dallas Cowboys flat brim hat, So Odell probably won't find a home this season. He might not even play this season. But should the Cowboys still pursue him next season? That's a question. And what other team should? I know the Giants were thinking about it. Daniel Jones has gotten better in the passing game. That might be good. Staying with the Rams, that possibility's still there. Matthew Stafford potentially slowing down after this bad off season. I don't know. We'll see where Odell Beckham Jr. lies. He might fall into the Deshaun Jackson category where he just bounces from team to team without really finding a home or finding a place to stay. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now this next story kind of hits a little home for me. Von Miller, linebacker, Buffalo Bills. He's out for the season. Unfortunately, he tore his, I believe it was his MCL, and he's out for the season. So the Bills are missing a big piece there. Of course, Von Miller came over from the Rams last year, and before that he was on the Broncos, won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, won a Super Bowl with the Rams. And, I mean, he could still win a Super Bowl with the Bills, he just won't be playing for it. And I think that would be awesome if he could win all 3. So, speedy recovery, Von. All the best to you. Unfortunate this injury knocked you out, but I'm still rooting for you and hope you recover quickly. Okay, so I want to mention NFL picks. I make NFL picks every week. I started in week 9, and I've been going ever since then. And I post my picks on my Twitter. So go check out my Twitter. Just search Kyle Brenchley. It's me in a suit. And I'm doing the Barney Stinson pose from How I Met Your Mother where I'm grabbing my tie and, giving a smolder. So check it out. I posted it on there. This last week was my best week in projections. I went 12 for 3, or 12 correct picks, 3 incorrect picks. One of those incorrect picks being a tie in the Commanders-Giants game. I picked the Commanders, and the Commanders should have won that game. So I'm a little bitter about that, but I counted that as a loss because I was incorrect technically. But yeah, go check it out. I post them every week. I think my overall record now is 45 and 26. So pretty good so far. I pat myself on the back for that one. But anybody and their dog can make NFL picks if they stay tuned with what that is. So let's get into it. Let's get into the NFL picks. This is my favorite segment so far, and so let's keep rolling. Let's start with what do we got here? Thursday night football. Sometimes Thursday night football has exciting matchups, but a lot of times they have matchups that give exposure to teams that may have not had the national exposure for a while. For example, the Raiders. They've been on some primetime games in the last couple years, but not so much. But they're getting it this time. The Raiders are playing the Rams, Las Vegas to Los Angeles in SoFi Stadium. I like the Raiders to win this one. The Raiders are currently on, I believe it's a 3-game win streak. They've been playing really well. They've beaten a good Seattle team. They've beaten a good Chargers team. They beat the Broncos in overtime in Denver, which is never easy. So they're playing good right now. And the Rams, Rams are Rams. So I say the Raiders win this one. Thursday Night Football, Al Michaels, Kurt Herbstreit. Raiders win. Vikings and Lions. This matchup's going to be really good. This game is in Detroit. I'm going to say the Lions win this one. Bold. This is my bold prediction of the week. Lions at home against the Vikings. They put up 40 points against the Jaguars, which, the Jaguars' defense is not great. But you put up 40 points in the NFL? That's impressive. Especially seeing that, NFL games this season and in the last couple seasons, they've been low scoring. There have been less touchdowns. There have been less high-scoring games between the two teams. The scores overall are just getting down. So if you put up 40 points in an NFL game, you're doing something right. So I think this will be a high-scoring game. The Lions' defense won't stop the Vikings. They won't stop Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, gritty boy. But they'll put up a lot of points. I think they win at home. The Lions are rolling. Give me the Lions. Ravens at Steelers. Ravens are not looking very good. They did beat Denver, but that doesn't mean anything. Lamar Jackson went out with a knee injury. Tyler Huntley stepped in and did his part. He got the win. But they have not been looking good. This Ravens team is not going anywhere unless they fix something. And this Steelers team playing pretty good. This game is in Pittsburgh. I'm going to say Pittsburgh over the Ravens. Bengals and Browns. Give me the Bengals. The Bengals just whacked the Chiefs last week. They didn't whack them, but they beat them. And Deshaun Watson, you could tell that guy hasn't played football in over, 600 days or whatever it was. He looked awful. Jeez, he was bad. I picked him up in one of my fantasy leagues and I started him. Mistake. He got me 5 points, if that. So, never making that mistake again. I'm going to take the Bengals at home to beat the Browns. Bills and Jets. I like the Bills in this one. The Jets did beat them last time. That game was in New York. I'm going to say Bills. Josh Allen's playing well. He's going to bounce back and win this game. Mike White has no chance. Cowboys and Texans. Give me the Cowboys. A little Texas interstate rivalry between Houston and Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas on this one. Giddy up. Cowboys are playing really good right now. Their offense is looking great. Their defense is playing great. They put up 54 against the Colts. So, Giants and Eagles. I'm going to say Eagles on this one. This game is in New York, but Jalen Hurts, fly Eagles fly. He's been playing really good. They whacked a good Titans team by 25 points. So, 4 scores. So, give me the Eagles. Titans and Jaguars. This game is in Tennessee. I don't know. This Jaguars team is hard to analyze. They beat the Ravens one week, and then they get whacked by the Lions. They lose to the Texans and the Broncos, but then play very good against even better teams. So, Jaguars at Titans. I'm going to say, give me the Titans. I think the Titans win this one. This game is in Tennessee. Even though the Jaguars have put up a good fight, Tennessee all the way. Chiefs at Broncos. This game was supposed to be Sunday night, but the Broncos are currently 3-9 and a dumpster fire right now. This game is in Denver. I'm going to pick the Chiefs over the Broncos. The Broncos are missing Courtland Sutton. But, honestly, their offense, even with Courtland Sutton and all the healthy pieces, have not been able to score, more than 18 points. If they would have scored more than 18 points in most of their games, they would have a winning record, which is pretty crazy. So give me the Chiefs. Panthers at Seahawks. I like this one to be a fun matchup. I like the Seahawks to win. Don't count out the Panthers, though. They're going to roll with Sam Darnold after waiving Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield went to the Rams. I don't know if he'll start. I think they're going to roll John Wolford for at least this week. But Baker Mayfield now on the Rams. So the Panthers is the Sam Darnold show. Give me the Seahawks at home to win that one. Geno Smith, they're fighting for a playoff spot. They got to win every game. We got 49ers and Buccaneers. Ooh, this one's interesting because Jimmy Garoppolo needs surgery on his foot. He's out for the year. Trey Lance is out for the year. They got Brock Purdy. They got the likes of Brock Purdy running the show. Freak, man, Brock Purdy. So he's playing the Buccaneers. Whew. They did good work of the Dolphins, that 49ers team, with Brock Purdy under center. Their defense is amazing. They still got so many good pieces. I like this one to be very close, and I like the 49ers to win this one at home. The GOAT loses to Brock Purdy, so 49ers, there we go. Chargers and Dolphins, this is the Sunday night game. You know, the Chargers, they got a lot of issues, but man, they are fun to watch, and they seem to be in every single game. Like, when was the last time the Chargers got blown out? Like, I think it was the 2020 season when New England put up 40 and they lost 40-0. And that 2020 season was just weird in general. This game's in SoFi Stadium, Dolphins at Chargers. I'm going to say, this one's tough. The Dolphins, I think the Dolphins just stayed there all week because they played the 49ers and they just hung out on the West Coast all week. Getting used to the weather. I'm going to say, give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins to bounce back and take down the Chargers. Mike Williams is still hurt. Keenan Allen's come back, had that sick catch against the Raiders, but it wasn't enough. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins to win on the road and to take a victory back to the East Coast, back to the Party City of Miami. Monday Night Football this week is the Patriots at Cardinals. Give me the Patriots. This Cardinals team is just not good. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Cliff Kingsbury, they're just not good. You know, DeAndre Hopkins is a baller. Kyler Murray, OU guy. Cliff Kingsbury, he's on his way out. Patriots defense was really good, so give me the Patriots on the road, actually, to beat the Cardinals. So those are my NFL picks here for Week 14. We're getting down to it. We're getting down to the wire. We got Week 14, 15, 16, and 17 left, so just 4 more weeks. And then it's the playoffs. It's the postseason. Postseason NFL is always fun to watch, and I'm excited for that. It's going to be great with the Chiefs' loss. I believe the Bills are now in the number 1 spot and control their own destiny, and the Bills need that. Philadelphia is still on top of the NFC, of course, with that one loss being to Washington. It's going to be a fun week. I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to keep up with the NFL and to see where it goes from there. I will mention one thing that I failed to mention before. Looking down at my notes, I got too excited and I jumped over it. College football playoff. All the bowls have been released. Go check them out. We have Ohio State got the 4 seed with USC's loss to Utah. So Ohio State is the 4 seed. They'll be playing number 1 Georgia, and then number 3 TCU against number 2 Michigan. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. I was kind of bummed they didn't do the whole Ohio State number 3, Michigan number 2, and a rematch of the big rivalry there. But it'll be fun. So those games, of course, New Year's Eve, check them out. We'll talk about it more later in future episodes. But yeah, college football's set. NFL season's coming down to the wire. World Cup's coming down to a wire. It's a good time to be a sports fan. All right, guys, that's all for today's podcast episode. Thank you so much for listening to Fan Talk. You can find Fan Talk by K. Branch Sports. That's kind of my brand that I'm trying to create. You can find Fan Talk on iHeartRadio, on Spotify, and you can find a video version here on YouTube. Just search Fan Talk and then my name, Kyle Brunchley, and it should pull up. Thank you guys so much for listening, and Merry Christmas. It's December, so 'tis the season. Be safe out there, and remember to think about others before you think about yourself. See ya.